Purpose. The purpose of the fit-out management operating procedure is to outline the flow of activities to be followed by the interiors team to ensure consistency in fulfilling requests for fit-out orders. Scope. This standard operating procedure defines the procedures, including responsibilities, internal controls, and authorizations, for delivering the interiors scope of work as part of ARENA's turnkey event project services in UAE, KSA, or Asia divisions. Applicability. The procedures defined in this document are intended to guide the interiors team in UAE, KSA, and Asia divisions. These procedures apply to both full-time employees and contract staff involved in delivering the interiors scope of work. Fit-out refers to the process of furnishing and finishing the interior spaces of a premise to make it suitable for its intended use. Fit-out can include elements like flooring, wall finishes, lighting, cabinetry, furniture, and other interior components. Interiors bill of quantities. A document listing and quantifying all materials, labor, and resources needed to complete the interiors scope of work. Finishes schedule. A document specifying the materials, finishes, and details for each aspect of a project, ensuring consistency and clarity in design and construction. Production schedule. A document listing activities and estimated dates to complete the production scope of work. Procedure. The fit-out management procedure includes the 10 key activities, outlined as follows. Each activity is described in detail on the following pages. Provide bid support, establish project team, plan interior scope, confirm subcontractors, initiate procurement, monitor production, manage interior decor, allocate interiors crew, manage fit-out change requests, and manage inventory and close orders. Provide bid support for fit-out orders. The interiors manager is responsible for providing the required inputs and support to the account manager, design team, and estimation team to prepare winning proposals that include the fit-out scope of work. The interiors manager provides the design team with information on finishes specifications or the availability of fit-out inventory from the client's past projects to support concept design development. Establish project team. The interiors manager is responsible for assigning a project coordinator once a project order confirmation email is received from the account manager. For hiring interiors stylists, the interiors manager coordinates with the quantity surveyor to confirm the requirement and budget availability. Hiring freelancers for the project must follow guidelines in the HR policy. Please refer to Section 1, Recruitment and Selection, in the ARENA HR Policy Manual for details. The interiors manager informs the head of operations or projects once the project team is established. Plan interior scope. The project coordinator is responsible for planning the interior scope of work according to the project requirements. This includes developing the interiors bill of quantities and the finishes schedule. The project coordinator participates in the project kickoff meeting and obtains the approved final design along with all relevant design assets from the project manager. The project coordinator reviews the design plans and coordinates with the design manager to understand the scope of work and design requirements. The project coordinator prepares a detailed interiors bill of quantities listing all materials, components, and quantities needed for the project. If necessary, the project coordinator liaises with procurement to contact suppliers and vendors to gather price quotes, lead times, and availability details for the selected materials. The completed bill of quantities is reviewed with the interiors manager and, if necessary, with the project team to ensure alignment with the project's goals and budget. The project coordinator arranges an interiors kickoff meeting with the quantity surveyor, interiors manager, interior stylist, if involved, design manager, design lead, and the project manager. During this session, the interior stylist is briefed and the scope of work is allocated. The project coordinator develops the finishes schedule, which lists the selected finishes, materials, and products for each component or area within the project. The finishes schedule includes detailed specifications for each finish or material, such as color codes, manufacturers, product names, and model numbers. The finalized interiors bill of quantities and finishes schedule are issued to the project manager and the internal or external production team, if applicable. Confirm subcontractors. The project coordinator, along with the interiors manager, aligns with procurement to select subcontractors for interior works. The project coordinator issues the drawing packs, bill of quantities, and the preferred list of subcontractors based on the client or the project to the head of procurement. Subcontractor evaluation and selection must comply with PC2, procurement management procedures. Evaluation criteria should be established, and subcontractor selection must be reasonably justified. Initiate interiors procurement. Interiors procurement can commence only once the design team declares the design freeze stage for the designs, and all client payment obligations are completed. The project coordinator advises the project's admin to prepare the purchase request in the ERP for all interiors-related procurement requirements, and issues it to the procurement team for processing. The project coordinator aligns with the procurement manager to ensure that all purchase orders are issued to the selected suppliers. The project coordinator also informs the project manager about the progress of purchases related to the interiors items to ensure that the on-site delivery and installation of these items are coordinated. Monitor production status. The project coordinator supports the project manager to verify the status of the items in production, which could be delivered by the in-house production team or by an external supplier. If required, the project coordinator visits the production facility to assess the quality of items in production and confirm that the items comply with the agreed specifications. Manage interior decor. The interior stylist is responsible for managing the decor scope of work. If an interior stylist is not available, then the project coordinator manages the scope of work. The stylist aligns with the project coordinator to capture the interior's bill of quantities and agree on the scope of work. Based on these requirements, the stylist liaises with the furniture manager to assess the availability of arena's decor inventory and procure the required items. Procurement of all decor items must comply with arena's procurement procedures. The list of inventory is issued to the warehouse manager to coordinate the delivery and return of decor items to and from the event location. For allocation of any petty cash fund, the stylist submits the petty cash fund request to the interiors manager. Petty cash is allocated following the guidelines in the petty cash procedure. The stylist should ensure that petty cash-related expenses comply with the petty cash guidelines and arena's procurement guidelines. Non-compliant expenses may be recovered from the petty cash custodian. Requests for petty cash replenishment can be submitted once the petty cash fund is at 20% or lower. The stylist coordinates with the furniture crew for the arrangement and placement of decor items at the event location. If required, the stylist supports the design manager or the design lead during the inspection of site decor. Allocate interiors crew. The interiors manager is responsible for the allocation of the interiors crew, including the AC and electrical crew, tailors, and carpenters, depending on the requirements of the project. The operations planner requests the interiors manager to allocate crew for the projects based on the requirements. Timesheets for tailors, carpenters, and AC and electrical crew will be prepared by the project's admin. Completed timesheets are approved by the interiors manager and issued to the HR department. Per diems, expense claims, and freelancer invoices related to the interiors department must be approved by the interiors manager and then submitted to the finance department for processing. Per diems and other expenses can be claimed subject to the guidelines in the Arena HR manual. The current workflow for claiming per diems and expenses is as given in the figure here. Expense claim forms must be used for claiming per diems and/or expenses. One form must be used for each employee, instead of one form being used for an entire department. Per diem claims cannot be future dated and can be claimed only for the days that are owed. For each month, the employee can claim for per diems from the 11th of the month till the 10th of the next month. Freelancers must submit their invoices to the operations administrator before the 1st of every month. The submission and approval workflow of the freelancer invoices is as given in the freelancer invoice submission workflow image. Manage fit-out change requests. All requests for variations are reported to the account manager. The project coordinator supports the project manager and account manager in assessing the feasibility and the potential impact of the variations. Variations are processed only when the project coordinator receives the approved variations document or a written confirmation from the account manager or project manager. The project coordinator updates the interiors bill of quantities and other relevant documentation, communicates the changes required to the team, and coordinates the implementation of the required changes. The project coordinator supports the project manager in addressing any concerns or problems related to the interior scope of work. These issues may include damages to items delivered to the site or discrepancies in dimensions, among other potential issues. The project coordinator must aim to investigate and resolve these issues swiftly and satisfactorily. If necessary, the project coordinator can escalate the issue to the interiors manager for additional support and assistance. Manage fit-out inventory. For requests to store client's inventory, a client LPO or client-approved copy of the storage quotation must be available for processing the request. The interiors manager, after receiving the confirmation, aligns with the project manager and warehouse manager to arrange the delivery of the inventory to the warehouse. Storage and management of inventories at the warehouse are subject to ARENA's warehousing guidelines. See M2 Warehouse Management Procedures for details. The interiors manager maintains an up-to-date list of the interiors inventory available in ARENA's storage. Close fit-out orders. Once the interiors scope of work is completed, the project coordinator ensures that all interiors-related purchases are completed, samples and materials references are archived, and lessons learned are reported to the accounts manager. The project coordinator confirms that all interior-related purchase orders have been issued and goods received notes for these items have been captured in the Enterprise Resource Planning System. Samples of interior materials and finishes, as well as project references, must be carefully archived for future reference and potential use in upcoming projects or for maintenance purposes. These archived materials must be organized and labeled in an accessible manner to facilitate quick retrieval when needed. The project coordinator reports any lessons learned from the interior scope of work to the accounts manager. This can include any insights or recommendations that can help improve project management, cost control, or procurement processes for future projects. RACI Matrix. A RACI matrix is a tool that clarifies roles and responsibilities in a project by designating who is responsible, accountable, consulted, and informed for each task. Please take some time to study this matrix for a clear understanding of team roles. Please review this RACI matrix carefully. Related documents and references. Here is a list of the documents referenced in this lesson.